Happy New Year, dolls! It's a brand new year, but I have a stack of makeup that I either bought, got through PR, or was gifted in 2022. Clearly, 2022 was a good year for me where makeup is concerned. I want to thank the two companies that sent me PR this year, the hotter than hot Gourmand Girls and the cuter than cute Saints, Angels, Sinners. I was so humbled and proud to receive both these companies' products and, more importantly, to try them out. I also need to thank my Patreoners, Michael Bergantino, Martha Grunwald, and David Burkett, who all sent me makeup in 2022. They're my makeup enablers, yes, they are. And last but far from least, I'd like to thank everyone who sent me a Fingerdoo last year. Your generosity helped make my makeup dreams come true. So, because of that, I thought I'd kick off the new year rating last year's releases. I have 30 palettes here, and to be honest, there's not a dud in the lot, so rating them was not easy. This is also just my opinion. Not all makeup works for all people, so if I rate a palette you love lower than you would, don't take it personally. All these palettes are winners in my mind, and I am serious when I say they're all excellent. So let's get to it. Coming in at 30 is the Glaminatrix Nocturnal palette. This is a company from Australia, Glaminatrix. How do you... Oh, look at that. Here's the problem I have with it right away. This is an empty pan. It just fell out on my lovely moo-moo. There were a lot of problems with this palette. I want to start off by saying I do like this palette. I picked this palette because I like the colors, but there were a lot of problems with this palette. For instance, I wasn't going to buy it off the hop. It's Australian. It's expensive to get things imported. Import taxes and shipment fees can double or sometimes triple some palettes depending on where they're from. And this palette was already expensive. I actually had no intention of buying this palette out of the hop because it was expensive. I think it was $100 before it even shipped. But this is an excellent, except for this empty. I can't believe it. Just literally, it was filled when I opened it. But between last night and now, it's fallen apart again. So, which brings me to one of the first problems I had with this palette. It was a pre-order in January. It was shipped in February. I didn't even get mine till April because they had problems with a lot of these shimmer and multi-chrome formulas. They weren't traveling well. A couple of people in PR got their palettes early and the pans were broken. So they put a hold on the release while they reformulated these shimmers. And so I didn't get it until April. So right away, that was like almost $200. Like this is only a 12, is it 12? 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 pan palette for $200. Like that's a lot of money. I mean, and again, I had no intention of buying this, but I got the FOMO. I started seeing a lot of people talking about this. A lot of people were excited to get it, and then some people got it early in PR, and I was like, ooh. And I mean, this blue right here and this grungy color, actually the grungy colors in here are spectacular. The black here is spectacular. I'm not going to lie to you, but I regret buying this palette. It cost a lot. It took forever to get to me. And then when it got to me, I didn't have one pan broken. I had 3. This one, and this one down here were all smashed. So it was just a big letdown on all fronts. Now, the reason that I still have it is, well, it was $200, but also it's my reminder of FOMO. FOMO is real, but it also doesn't matter. You can miss out or not. Life still goes on. There's still trouble in the world. There's still global warming, whether or not you have the palette. So the reason that it is at the bottom of the heap, it's actually a much better palette than 30th place in here. But, and again, no offense to the company, because I should never have bought this palette, but I had so many problems with it before I even got it that I still get triggered when I look at it. I go, oh, but I'm trying to work my way through it. It's just makeup. Just makeup. Coming in at 29, this would have been at the bottom for sure. Trixie Mattel's collaboration with Juno Birch. Now, I am not a huge fan of Trixie Mattel's makeup formula, and I stopped buying her makeup formula. I think the last thing I got was the Planet Gay because that one seemed very saturated and bright, and it still wasn't. The problem I have with their palettes are that the formula is kind of chalky and scratchy and sometimes doesn't blend well. But I really do like Juno Birch, and I really did like this color story. And I thought that this would be a fun palette to have. Now, I want to point out that this right here is the black. Depending on where you saw this palette online, this kind of ended up looking green. It looks very gray. In fact, when Juno Birch was talking about this launch, she alluded to the fact that this wasn't near as black as she would have liked it. But that's the problem I have with Trixie Mattel. For a queen with such graphic eye makeup that relies heavily on black, she has yet to produce a palette with a good black in it. So that's the problem. But now I bought this palette because I wanted to, I don't know. I don't know why I wanted to support Juno Birch. She's never supported me, but I did like as I say, I did like the color story. The blues in here were nice, and I thought it would be fun. I also thought it would be fun to do a Juno Birch look. I'm throwing the picture up here. I look nothing like her. I couldn't find a blonde wig. There were a lot of problems, but this is another palette I really shouldn't have bought. I knew better. I wasn't going to buy anything, and then this release came out. So I also got the Trixie Mattel mirror. I love her mirrors. I have to tell you, I love her brushes and I love her mirrors. I don't love her makeup, but I really did enjoy the mood of the Juno Birch collab with Trixie. So that's why this is at the bottom and not further up. But yeah, I still had problems blending a lot of this makeup. I'm not going to lie to you. All right, coming in at 28. This is a Canadian company. This is Suva. They have fantastic products. I'm not going to lie to you. They have a line of cosmetic paints that are exquisite. This was sent to me by Chloe, Save the Victory Roll Demure. I've done some unboxing videos with her and some makeup reviews with her. And she loves this company. They're out in Vancouver, out her way in Canada. And this is a pure, straight up rainbow palette. Would I have bought this palette? No, I don't need a rainbow palette. I have lots of them. But I'll tell you what, the one thing that makes this palette so special is this shimmer at the end here. It's like a rainbow glitter. It is the most gorgeous thing. It goes over everything beautifully. It is a stunning palette. The problems that I have, like the red here, for one reason or another, of all these shades, this one is just gritty. It feels gritty. It feels kind of like a Trixie Mattel shade. And let me show you. I'm gonna do it here. It's not bad. The pigmentation in this palette is okay. It builds up. I was kind of disappointed at first when I first tried these colors, because like even that yellow, do you see that yellow's not very good, but if you go over it a couple times, it does get stronger. So the colors are buildable if you're patient. I'm not a patient person. So that was Suva at 28. Happy to have it. I wouldn't have bought it on my own, but I'm not mad that I have it in my palette. And again, if you don't have a rainbow palette and you're looking for something, support Canada. Get this one because, as I say, the shimmer in this is just special. It's so gorgeous. Okay, coming in at 27 is a recent acquisition. This is the It Takes Two palette from the Advent calendar that P. Louise, the mini Advent calendar that P. Louise released just before Christmas. And that was gifted to me by David Burkett. And I have to say, I would never buy this kind of a palette either, but I used it on my eyebrows. It has become my go-to eyebrow palette. I quite enjoy this. The one thing that I think is silly, I don't know if you can see, there are lights here. They're not ever going to help you. It's such a gimmick. Like, that's the problem. The only problem I have with P. Louise is their packaging is sometimes so unnecessary. This isn't bad, but I mean, I don't know. This isn't something they're selling on the website yet. This is a, it was in their advent calendar, so it'll be a release they'll have this year. But I don't know. It just, I'm glad to have it, but I wouldn't buy it. That's why it's at 27. Coming in at 26, it's another P. Louise palette. This is Beauty in the Breakup. Now, this is a palette I definitely would never have bought because it is neutral. But it came in, let me get the plastic off. This came in a budget box. I think it was the April budget box. I was hoping to get a budget box with the Money Shot palette in it. And I didn't. And then I started getting some stuff like Bubble Bath, stuff I would never use. So I just stopped getting the budget boxes from P. Louise. But if you've never bought from P. Louise, I would suggest a budget box at least once because it's, in a lot of cases, a lot of new stuff that's not on the website yet. And quite nice. Now this is excellent. But it's neutral. As you can see, it's a very neutral palette. Now, the funny thing is again, look at how unnecessary. I don't even know. There's only one thing that moves in there. It's chock-a-block with all these things, but they're all jammed in one end and they won't move. So it's just so unnecessary. But I feel like this got released and then they released like a new palette. It's a wedding themed palette and some stack 'em ups or love tapes or something that are all in this. They're all in this tone. Now this one's very warm. You can see there's like beautiful pumpkiny coral, like a lot of these tones, the pinks down here, warm. The cool tones in the top row, but mostly it's a nice warm palette. And I have to say, I have used this once, maybe twice. It is a little too warm to use for contouring or stuff like that, but I did use it for a neutral face to try it out. Fabulous formula. It's a great palette, but if it hadn't been in a budget box, I would never have bought this. So no offense to anyone, but that's how it goes. Coming in at 25 for my 2022 makeup purchases was not a purchase. This was another gift from my fabulous Patreoner, Michael Bergantino. It is the Trixie Mattel and Kim Chi collab, BFF Forever. They had a bunch of stuff, little lipsticks and things, and this palette, it's all right. This is not a standalone palette. It is a companion palette because there's no depth. As you can see, there's no depth in this. This whole row here is pressed glitters. Right here, these are all pressed glitters. These are all shimmers, the neutral end. And then the bright colors here, these ones here, these are shimmery. Let me give you a couple of, we can do the green shimmer, the yellow, and not pink. They're not bad. They're good. I like Kim Chi's formula way better than I like Trixie Mattel's. So I am not sorry to have this palette. But again, I would never have bought this. This whole neutral row is great for my eyebrows. I've done some contouring with these. I like to use a lot of these glitters and stuff on my lid just to make it sparkle. But you need another palette for depth. You need something with some like darker colors in it to make this work. But it's a fun little palette. And if I had to pick between Kim Chi and Trixie Mattel for formula, I would go with Kim Chi every time. I found this palette a little more, I don't know, it's just the blending was better. It works well with other makeup. It's fine. Now, coming in at 24 is the Juvia's Place Garden of Juvia. And the reason that I'm showing you this, and the reason that it's so close to the Kim Chi palette is these are very similar palettes. They're not exactly the same, but they're both very similar. This is Kim Chi, this is Juvia. Now, with the Juvia's Place, there are more shimmers. There's no glitter, and there's only 7 mattes out of the whole, what do we have there, 16 shades? So less than half are mattes. And as you can see, absolutely no depth in here. But the nice thing is, this is a great little pastel palette. As you can see, there's some more intensity in the Kim Chi palette. But I think that if I were going to get one or the other, I would probably go with the Juvia's Place. I just like their formula the best. They just seem to have the best luck. But again, you can see it's very pastel. These are all great blending colors. Let me show you what some of these colors look like. I'm going to do that yellow because then we can see what it looked like compared to the Trixie yellow. We'll do that blue and we'll do that darker purple. Sure. But yeah, that yellow's stronger. And look at the brightness of those shimmers. They're really, really good. Like I stand behind the Juvia's Place formula. I don't own everything that they have because not everything they have is up my street. I'm not a day walker. I'm a drag queen. I need my makeup to do certain things for me. And I feel like with Juvia's Place, it mostly does. So well done, Juvia's Place. So that's my 25 and 24 out of 30. Coming in at 23, this is a fantastic palette. This was a gift from a Patreoner, David Burkett. This is the Beauty Bay Nude palette. This is spectacular. I use this for contour. I've used this for eyebrows. I've used this for a lot of things. It's also 42 pans. There's 42 pans. This gray row here is spectacular. There's some great shimmers. The Beauty Bay formula is exquisite. The price makes it worth the import. Like, I think that this was $30. You can always get stuff on sale. Now, as I say, this was a gift. But I would always get a 42 pan palette from Juvia's Place. Sorry, from Beauty Bay, because the variety's there. There's not a lot of, like, you can see the gradation. There's not a lot of colors that are like the same. In some palettes, large palettes like this, you end up with colors that are so close together, you wonder why they're both in there. That's not the case with this. There are some great mattes. The shimmers are good. It's like this here. What's this called? Ice. Yeah. This is their white. Oh, my hand's just covered in glitter from Juvia's Place. But look at that. Oh, look at that. It's spectacular. I am so happy. Now, this is another palette I don't think I would have bought on my own. I'm not interested in nudes or neutral palettes. I'm just not. But I have used this palette so much. As I say, I use it for contour. It's great for blending out some things. And all in all, well worth it. Now, this was also a gift from David Burkett. This is the Be Perfect. This is another one of my favorite companies. Beauty Bay, Juvia's Place, Be Perfect. They are all excellent. This is their compass of creativity. This has 4 palettes in it, and they're all magnetic, so they all come apart, and they're all 9-pan palettes. This is the neutral one. Look at that. Look at the intensity in that. It's stunning. There's nothing wrong with these palettes. They came out, though, after Beauty Bay released. They had a bunch of palettes, green themed, blue themed, berry themed. Then Be Perfect released this well after the Beauty Bay releases. And like, this could very well be the Beauty Bay palette. This is the problem I think that Be Perfect had, was they kind of released it right after. Look at that. These two are very similar to the berry palette that they have out. I think these colors are all in the Beauty Bay palette. I didn't buy the Beauty Bay palette because I'm not a big fan of the berries, but these, as I drop everything and break it. This is the other thing that's weird. These all magnetic together to create a compass, but they don't stay. Like, they fall off quite easily. So I don't understand, like, you couldn't keep this in your, like, standing up, because it would fall over, you know what I mean? Which is why I kept the sleeve for them. So it's a weird gimmicky thing that I really don't understand. They could have not bothered and just sold them as 9-pan palettes. But I don't know if they sell them on Be Perfect separately. That's the only thing. You might have to buy all 4. But yeah, I really was quite happy to get these. Coming in at 21 is an independent American company, Saints, Angels, Sinners, the Cocoa palette. I was sent this in PR. This is a recent, it came out just a little, just before Halloween or just after. So it's a recent one. And I have to say, I really do love the Saints, Angels, Sinners formula. This is really quite a pretty little palette too. Some of these shimmers don't show up as nice as they should, but like this one has a very purple hue that moves to icy blue. I don't know if you'll ever see the purple on it. Um, Butter. It's like butter. The black in here, it's a little gritty, but I don't mind. But look, let me see. I'm not, I'm not a big swatcher. Yeah, that's not the best black in the world. I'm not going to lie to you. This mint one though, oh God, look at the intensity of that. Um, it is so soft and so smooth when you go into the pan. I really do like this palette because of the like that grungy green right there is so beautiful. And again, all of these shimmers are great for an eyelid for some intensity. And I use the brown here and here for my eyebrows. Actually, that one too. These three. So it's a good palette. Uh, I don't know if I would have bought this on my own, only because of the color story. It's not screaming drag queen to me, but I have no problem with this company's formula. I have a couple of other palettes of theirs that they really impress the hell out of me. So that's my 21 out of 30 is Saints, Angels, Sinners. The next three, so 20, 19, and 18, are from C Color Cosmetics. C Color Cosmetics is a fantastic American company. They do budget priced makeup. There's nothing wrong with it beyond the fact that it's incredibly inexpensive. I don't think any of their palettes are over $15. And these ones, there was 4 in this release. And if you bought all 4, they were it was $20 for all 4. So they were $5 each. The fourth one was a very neutral, rosy palette that I gave to a friend. I couldn't use it. It just was not, I didn't even try it. Like it was just not for me. But these are excellent. All of them have a glitter in them. So this is, look at that, that's a glitter, and that's a glitter. And they don't show up a color. This yellow, here's another yellow. I'm obsessed with the color yellow. I don't know why. But yellow's a hard color to do. But I find this yellow so bright and so soft. And here's their red. Their red compared to the Suva is not scratchy. It's very blue leaning. It's gorgeous. Here's their lavender in this one. I really do love this palette. I've used this quite a few times. That's the Bold and the Beautiful. The Fiesta All Day is another one very similar. This Chartreuse Sparkle right here, it looks yellow, but it's very green. Spectacular. Next to it is a green shimmer that is just stunning. So I'm so bad at the swatches. That's why I don't like doing them. But yeah, I think that this is an excellent palette. If you don't know C Color Cosmetics, check them out. I've got a link to all of these companies in my bio down below. My is it the description? What is it? Yeah, in the description panel. And this is the Empowered Excellence. And this only has 2 shimmers in it. This one, the green, and the chartreuse. And you can see they look more like glitters in here. But this one here, I think of the 3 is my favorite. The intensity of these colors is excellent. In fact, this color here is called Excellence. And it's either a very dark, yeah, that's a very dark brown. But it's spectacular. I quite like it. So C Color Cosmetics, check them out. Give them a try. Have a boo. Let me know what you think, if you like them at all. Number 17 is the Norvina Pro Palette 6. I love this. I was gifted the number 3 palette, the orange one with the butterflies on it. God, these things are awkward to open. They're really good magnets. But look at that. I just love that. It's got this gorgeous black, this navy. It's hard to find a navy eyeshadow. A lot of people just don't bother. The shimmers in here are spectacular. This up here is a glitter. It is just, it's so buttery and look at that. And it just catches all sorts of light. It's an excellent topper on top of things. This is a gray shimmer right here that is just beautiful. I really, really like this palette. And the thing I like about it is the pastels in it. This lighter side over here. These are all great blending palette colors. So if you're using like a palette with strong colors and you would need to blend stuff out, this one is an excellent. This one or the Juvia's Place. They're just excellent blending palettes. They're good. I think the Nervina obviously can stand alone more than the Juvia's Garden palette, but still, it's this it's an excellent. It's expensive. I think with shipping and everything, it cost me about $80, but I like this way more than I like the Glaminatrix palette. I am just going to say. All right, coming in at 16, this is a palette I was very excited to get. It is the Artitude Cosmetics Split It Liner palette. This is a company from Britain, independent, fantastic company. I'm never disappointed with anything they sell. But this is these are all split liners. So like this is lavender and teal. Like you can see them. Each of these is their own pan, but they're split with two colors. The other thing that's interesting is these here are multi-chrome. They will I don't know if you can see it, but they do switch color. And then this is a gold and this is a silver up here. And I use this one on the lavender line that you see on my cut crease is from this. Um, I love this palette. The colors are easy to mix. As you can see, I created my own green there. I wanted something a little more acidy than was in the palette. I did a gray. Really easy to blend, really easy to use, and I can't say enough about this company, Artitude. I've got a link to them down below as well. But if you're looking to have some fun with some liners, because a lot of liners, I'll tell you, up until this palette, a lot of liners you'd get would crack, they'd dry funny. Um, for me, I don't use water when I use graphic liner. I use the Mehron blending liquid because it's like water. But what it does is it helps them not run because they're water activated. So if you start sweating, your liner will run off your face way easier than other things. So I like to use the Mehron because it's waterproof. Even though it's a liquid, it's waterproof. So yeah, Artitude Cosmetics, the Split It Liner, number 16, right almost in the middle. Right at the middle for my 30 palettes is from Gourmand Girls. This is the Salem Moore palette. I got this in PR. This is a gorgeous palette. Now, I don't know if I would have bought this palette on my own, only because pinks and reds scare the hell out of me. But as you can see, I have worn that pink out. This black here is the best black you'll ever have, ever. It I I reach for this palette more for the black than I do anything else, but it's got some beautiful red tones. This red here is a shimmer. There's a red matte. The neutrals in it are excellent. This pink shimmer right here is beautiful. This neutral tone here is great for blending or doing a lid or whatever you want. Um, yeah, I think that this is an excellent palette. I think it's out of stock right now at Gourmand Girls because, well, it's very, very busy and very, very famous. But I just I think that if you're going to uh, try a pink red themed palette, this is a good one. Number 15 for me. Number 14 for me, again, surprise, Juvia's Place. This is their first big palette release since the Wahala. They had two Wahala palettes. And this is their first big palette release that isn't a Wahala palette. It's the Culture palette. And the only thing I hate about this is the background. It makes it very hard to see these colors, but these colors are excellent. This color down here is like, it looks like metallic denim. I love that color so much. As you can see, I like the layout, red, green, right to purple over on the side. Everything's in there, and each row has its own, like there's shimmers and mattes in each row for each colorway. So you've got lots of variety. It's a great palette. And I don't think that this was $30, maybe $30. Juvia's Place is such a great company for price point. They just really, you're not breaking the bank to get a hold of anything from Juvia's Place. Um, Back to Beauty Bay, which I feel like is the Juvia's Place of Britain. They do such great makeup palettes, and they're every once in a while they release something where it's like I have to have that because it encompasses a lot of things. And they released some monochromatic palettes last year, and this is one of them. This is the Midnight, and it is all purples and blues. Look at that. It's just gorgeous, and I love that it's all like reddy tones up here and then cooler tones down here. The black is spectacular. This is a navy as well. All the glitters in here are gorgeous. Absolutely worth the while. And coming in right next to it, although I will say I like this palette more than I like the Midnight palette. This is their earthy palette. And the only reason that I like this is it's green, but then it has all these warm tones that go well with green. So I quite enjoy there's more versatility for me in this palette than there is in the Midnight palette, although they are both absolutely excellent. All right, coming in at number 12, talk about unnecessary packaging. This is the P. Louise Money Shot. And again, all this stuff that's in here is supposed to, look, it does move, but what for? What for? They're poker chips. There was a brief period there where P. Louise was doing a lot of packaging that had to do with money, manifesting money, wanting money, coveting money. And this was at the height of it, the zeitgeist of it. And she seems to have kind of pulled off of that and has much more, I'm going to say, socially uplifting themes now. But this is I said to myself I wasn't going to do that. But this is the palette. It's in two sides. There's the green side, and then the grungy drawer. This, you heard me. And they're both excellent. They're both excellent. The only thing I hate is the packaging. I would much rather have had one big thing that opened or two smaller palettes to choose from. But like, look at how big that is. It's just unnecessary. And you get one or two of these together, and it's like, oh, unnecessary. But this is an excellent formula. The colors blend well. I quite enjoy this palette. Okay, now we're into the top 10. It's a lot of makeup. And this one here is a controversial palette. I got it in PR. It's from Saint Angel's Sinners, but it was a collab with Gourmand Girls. It's the Together palette. And the only reason I'm bringing this up was, I have to say this is my favorite palette of last year. This is just a super gorgeous palette. The colors are fun. I love the plaid. All of the colors are named after duos. So like the black one's Batman and Robin. This purple here is Bonnie and Clyde. It's such a good palette. The formula is good. The shimmers are good. The colors are spectacular. But there were some issues between the companies, and just after they released the PR, I think I don't even know if I saw people do looks with this palette. I don't think a lot of people got it. And you certainly can't buy it, but it did get released to me in PR, and I love it. And the only reason I bring it up, I say again, it has to be my best favorite palette of the year. And I'm so sorry that they didn't release it. And I'm not going to get into all of the ins and outs about why it wasn't released, because I really don't know. And I'm not that close with the people involved. So I also chose not to know. I didn't want to get involved. I just, okay, I accept that you're not going to release this. But there, I said it. It's my favorite palette from last year. Coming in at number 9 from Beauty Bay, lots of Beauty Bay. This is Dark Fantasy. Now, this is a 12-pan palette. Is it? No, it's a 20-pan palette. Look at that. This is just stunning. This was not a palette I was going to buy when it first came out, because, I looked at it and it was like, well, it's kind of dark and neutral, and like even with the green, and it's just a lot of, like, the browns here are You know, there's a lot of neutrals in here that are just, I didn't think that they were worth it. But then I saw Teresa Mulhern on her channel. She used this and it was like, oh, well, that is gorgeous. So I got it. And as I say, I'm not disappointed. It's in my top 10. Also in my top 10 at number 8 is Blend Bunny's the Primal palette, sorry. This here, the reason that I love this so much, right down here, big, huge white pan, big, huge black pan. They're 3 of the other pans size. You know what I mean? It is gorgeous. Now, Blend Bunnies is a fantastic formula. If they blend well, I love how they lay everything out in their tones. They also do them in rows like pastels, neons, darks, and shimmers. And stunning. This is just a really, really nice, easy, that pink shimmer. Look at that. Oh, and it just really, that chartreuse. Look at that. Just gorgeous. I have 3 palettes from Blend Buddies. I have the Surge, the Blends, and this one. And do I need all 3? Absolutely not. If you're going to get one, get that one. I'm just going to say, because it's the more recent. But the Blends is all matte. It's spectacular. But I just really like their formula. And again, I really like the large black and white pans in there. And again, both of these are excellent, excellent formulas. They're just, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how good they are. All right. Now coming in at 7 and 8, these were released with the P. Louise Money Shot palette. And these are their Stack 'em Up palettes. They have 5 now. There's a pink, a blue, a purple, and now a green and an orange. And these are excellent palettes. First of all, I love the size. An 8-pan palette, lots of variety in there. There could be more depth in this, but I don't hate this palette. I usually, if I have a light enough eyeshadow going on, I let the eyeliner be the depth in my palette. And then this one, because they already had the green of the Money Shot, the funny thing is none of these greens are in the Money Shot. These are all unique to this little palette here. And all of the Stack 'em Ups are gorgeous. They often are sold on sale in a bundle. It used to be a 3-palette bundle. Now it's a 5-palette bundle. I love them. Coming in at number 5 is a palette I saw when it came out and didn't think anything of. And then I was gifted it by my Patreoner, David Burkett. Yes, he spoils me, and I think he just lives vicariously through me. But this is Be Perfect's collab with Alina. I have no idea who that is. I have no idea who that is. I don't really care. But this palette is stunning. It's a rainbow palette, but it's so dark and deep. And I just think that this surprised the hell out of me when I got it. It's got pressed glitters in it. This blue glitter has pink and purple in it. It is just, when you see it like in proper light, it's gorgeous. And then this copper glitter, like, who does a copper glitter? I just thought that this was spectacular. I like that it opens this way too for some reason. I don't know why. It's just different. But yeah, I was so surprised. Now, I think this was a limited release. I know that it's not in stock now. I have no idea if they're going to restock it. But if enough people call Be Perfect and say, so what's up with the Rain palette, they might re-release it. I hope they do, because it is just a spectacular, spectacular palette. Yeah, I can't say enough about that. Coming in at number 4 for my top 30 of 2022 was a Halloween release. And there was so much hype around this before. Christina of Gourmand Girls was talking it up. She sent me a picture of it before she released it just to show me what the pans would look like. This is her Spooked palette. And I'm not a necessarily a big fan of seasonal palettes, but I love a seasonal palette that's released for a season, but that you can use anytime. And look at that. I mean, you'd think that it was going to be all greens and oranges and blacks, but there's some blue, pink. There's great neutrals. This This is a matte white right here that is so gorgeous. And then her black, again, as I said in the C'est Le Monde by the Gourmand Girls, that black is gorgeous. So is this one. I'm not sure that they're the same formula because they're different. They're named different things, but either way, I've told Christina she needs to start selling some of her shadows and singles so I can stock up on something like her black because this is excellent. Coming in at number 3 is another Be Perfect. In fact, the next two are also from Be Perfect. It was a real battle royale between Beauty Bay and Be Perfect, clearly being my favorite company for 2022. But they remastered. They have a series at Be Perfect called the Carnival Series, and they remastered their very first one, the XL Pro. It had some complexion like highlighter shades or something in it, and they remastered it without those shades and then kind of tweaked a couple of the other colors, and I think they got 4 new colors into the palette. Either way, I wasn't going to buy that. I wasn't going to buy that because I have the original and I'm okay with it. And if I was running out of the original or I loved it so much that I just wanted to update it, then I would have bought it. But what they also released, this is so smart, I wish more companies would do this, they released an All-Stars palette of their Carnival series. This is all of their, Stacy, the makeup artist who this is in collab with, this is all her favorite colors. And these are the colors that go first. If you have a Carnival palette, then you know that these are the colors that you wear out first. And to release an All-Stars palette of popular colors, I wish Juvia's Place would do this. I wish P. Louise would do this. Just release something that has the stuff that I already love. Because I love it, I'm going to buy it again. Because the one thing I'm never going to do is buy the 42 pan palette to replace one color. I'm not. I'm going to start looking for a new company that's going to be my new fave. And I think an all-star palette is the best way to go for keeping your brand on everyone's lips and keeping your brand in everyone's favorites. Because you piss off your customer base and they will leave you. My second favorite palette for 2022 is also, I think, one of my most recent acquisitions. This is the Carnival, speaking of, 5. This is a new palette. This came out after the XL Pro remaster and the All-Stars. This is spectacular. 45 pans. And the thing I love the most about this is all of these gray tones over here. These three rows. If you've never bought a Carnival palette from Be Perfect, get this one. Because none of the others have these gray tones in them. And I just love that. The rest of this palette is very in keeping. If you've ever seen, I mean, I'll just hold up the All-Stars because it'll give you a sense of what a Carnival palette is all about. Nails. But you can see it's a rainbow palette. But the gray tones in this. If this didn't have the gray tones, what would we be buying? Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone's got that palette. Blend Bunnies has that palette. Do you know what I'm saying? But those gray tones involved, spectacular. No regrets getting that, or this one for that matter. Coming in at number 1 for my year, it's not a palette. It was a mystery box. It is the Unearthly Cosmetics mystery box. This was their Halloween release. Oh, I lost a nail. I was wondering what the hell that was. This was their Halloween release. And the reason that this is so great is it's not just a mystery box. It's not, most mystery boxes are shelf cleaners for me. If you've never shopped at a company before and you'd like to get to know what they have, then get one of their mystery boxes that they'll do at Christmas or whenever. Juvia's Place often has a mystery box. If you haven't bought from Juvia's Place, then get it. I can't buy Juvia's Place mystery boxes because I either have it or I don't want it. And when I get a mystery box from them, there's really nothing in there that's new. This was a mystery box curated specifically for Halloween in limited release, and none of these palettes are sold on the website individually. This is how it came. Look at all this. There was, I have these all open, but there were three 3 pans, purple, green, red, and then there was this blush palette, highlighter palette, so gorgeous, and then 3 lipsticks, purple, green, and the red one I thought would be a red lipstick. I was actually hoping it was red. It's a purple. No, it's black. I'm sorry. So black, green, and purple. That were the lipsticks in here. I'm not mad at it, but I wish that they had been there had been a red lipstick. Just because I don't have any unearthly products. This was like my first big dive into them as a company. And these are what the palettes look like. This is clearly the green one. It's just a quad. That chartreuse yellow is spectacular. Really pigmented. I love that. This is I'm wearing these two on my eyes. I figured I would be wearing, look at that orange. Oh, so gorgeous. I used a yellow from another palette because I wanted some yellow. And then this purple, blue, and this is a pink shimmer. It's very, very lavendery, just gorgeous. But yeah, so I used these two on my look today. And then the final thing that they had in there, this highlighter palette. Look at that. This is very orangey pink. I have that on the apples of my cheeks. And then I used the silver and lavender one because it's very cool toned as a highlight. The green one, I've not used the green one. I'm just going to be honest with you. I haven't used it yet. It is very green, but it's also very gold. So I think that this could be a nice highlighter depending on what you're going for. I would use it more on my eyes, I think, because it's definitely green, and I'm not that person. But this whole collection from Unearthly was 130, I think, plus shipping. And I have to tell you, I was not disappointed. It was not money wasted. In fact, I'm going on a no-buy for 2023. I'm not buying any makeup. That doesn't mean I won't accept makeup, but I'm not buying makeup. I have all the colors. I'm just saying, I think that I could live for a year. And in fact, I'm going to spend 2023 using the makeup I have and really like getting into it. But in honor of my no-buy for 2023, Unearthly Cosmetics came out with, just in the nick of time, I think it went on sale the 28th of December, but they're doing another mystery box for Valentine's Day. And it's the exact same box, but pinky red question marks on their logo. Yeah, I'm that I should be getting in February, and I'm so excited. I'll be doing an unboxing with Chloe because she got one too. But yeah, if you haven't tried Unearthly, do check them out. I'll have a link down below. There you go. Those are my 30 purchases from 2022. It's a lot of makeup. I am not proud of myself. I have way more makeup in my drawers behind me as well. And it's because of that I will be taking a huge no-buy and just loving the makeup I have. As you can see, there's such a variety of color here and formulas. I can't imagine that I would get through this in a month. Like, I think that it'll take me a year just to get through these 30 palettes, never mind the other 100 or so that I have behind. I'm not proud, but I love it so much. I love it. Oh my God. Oh! So, if you like this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Also, in the comments down below, let me know if you like this kind of video. I don't do a lot of makeup videos, but I want to because I have so much of it. And I think it'll be fun to do more products. Of course, I do my makeup in movies. I have a new one coming out very shortly. It's exciting. I can't wait. I've been talking about doing this one for a while. I'm finally doing it. And also make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I got some a great like surge of subscriptions during the holidays. I mean, not huge, but about 20 people, I think. So I'm almost at 8,400. I'm at 8,398. Like, I'm 2 away. So I'm excited for that because I have been at 8,300 subscribers. All of 22. I think all of 22 I was at that number. So I'm very excited to see some movement. And I thank you all again. And again, if you've ever sent me a tip or do, if you're a Patreoner, if you are buying merch from my Redbubble store, this is some of what I do with it. It's to keep myself gorgeous and fabulous for my videos, and it keeps me off the streets, keeps me honest. And I also want to thank all of you who sent me makeup. It's the most flattering gift I could get. It really is, because um, you have no idea. You have no idea. Even a bad palette, I don't want to say Trixie's, but even a bad palette, I start to, my heart goes, and I have to talk myself off the ledge. So there you go. Wish me luck for 2023. Watch, I'll buy something tomorrow. Actually, I can't, I'm broke. But there you go. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, this is me. Bye.